Your first on scene?
Yeah, right when it happened.
Atlanta homicide detective Tracy Lewis responds to an early morning shooting at a Buckhead nightclub called Hole in the Wall.
I heard pop, 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 pop.
Tragically, the victim succumbed to his injuries at Grady Hospital.
Car pulled alongside of school.
According to multiple witnesses on scene, the shooter fired from inside a red Altima.
No one knows why this happened, but luckily for Tracy, these witnesses were vigilant.
You know the victim?
Uh-huh.
Tracy Lewis encounters a security guard who was working the club that night.
I saw everything.
He starts to give Tracy information on what he knows about what happened.
I was outside.
He was in the parking lot, and he observed the victim speaking to a girl. And then he observed the 3 males that were in the club leaving, and they were walking towards their car.
They all got into the car. That's when it started.
As they're backing out, he can hear Scoob say, "You just gonna hit me?" or something to that effect. Like I guess they were backing out and they got too close to him or something. And that's when the passenger started engaging with the victim outside through the window of the car. They're having words.
I knew it was gonna be trouble. I tried to stop it.
He yells to the victim and tells him, "Hey, let that go, leave that alone."
I was walking up to the driver's side door, and I heard someone yell, "Gun."
That's when things spun out of control.
He did make contact with the driver of the vehicle he thought was reaching for a gun, and he hit the driver of the vehicle.
The next moments are a blur.
That's when he says that the male shoots the victim.
It was total chaos.
He turns, and the gun is now pointed at the security guard, and the shooter starts shooting at him.
He shot out the driver's side too?
Uh-huh.
He's shooting at the security guard because the security guard had assaulted the driver of the car. Now it's making sense.
The shooter, he was light-skinned.
All the information matches from what the security guard is saying to what the friends of the victim are saying. That's corroborative evidence. That's what Tracy Lewis needs, and that's what she got that night. He also provides Tracy with something totally new.
The security guard gave me the information that there was 3 people in the car. It was a driver, passenger, and there was someone in the back seat.
But once they started shooting, I just ran.
Everything that the security guard is telling me, I believe it. He gave me the beginnings of how things transpired. They gave a lot of context to what was transpiring between the shooter and the victim.
I don't know anything else.
It looks like it's just a crazy moment, and this young brother got killed behind it.
I may need to show you a lineup at some point.
He told me that he'll be available anytime to speak, just like the other 2 witnesses, same thing. They were all willing to help.
Hey, what's up?
We've ID'd the victim.
The victim is 28-year-old Sean Mobley.
He was shot 5 times.
The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office provided me with his next of kin, which was the mother and the father.
Tracy arranges for a sit-down with the family.
I work for them because the family is a victim as well. It's not just the deceased person that is on the ground. The family is also victims in this.
Man, what's up, Mama?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see you.
We hooked up with Tracy to learn all about her meeting with Sean's family.
Sean's mom, that's gotta be difficult.
She's hurt. She's devastated. Just every single horrible emotion you can think of. I don't think anybody ever expects to have to bury their child.
Right. So I'm understanding from your file, your victim, Sean, he actually lived at home.
Yes, the mom told me that that she saw him that night. He was going out with his friends. He goes to that club every single weekend, so it's nothing unusual.
Do you remember talking to Sean's mom and asking those questions? Most importantly, who is Sean?
He didn't have any enemies. He was just an all-around nice guy from what I understand. I wanted to find out what happened to this young man. There were too many too many moving parts and too many unanswered questions. But this is one of those situations to where you just want to find out what happened for this family.
Tracy heads back to the office and focuses on her best clue so far.
It's very important for me to try to find the suspect's vehicle because I am trying to find out who my suspects are.
I put out a bolo.
Get anything yet?
Nope, nothing yet.
What's great about this case is Tracy Lewis has a great description of this car, a red Altima. Body damage, it hit a bunch of cars coming out. This is very important. If you can capture that car right away, there's gonna be shell casings, ballistic evidence in that car that's gonna match it up to that crime scene.
Detective Lewis.
You still looking for an Altima?
Yeah.
This particular car, it goes out in the teletype all over Metro Atlanta, and all of a sudden she gets a call that they have a possible hit on her car.
They said that there was a possible vehicle that matched the description.
It's red.
Any damage to the body?
Yes.
I don't want to get excited because it could possibly not be real.
Where is it?
In Hateville.
All right, thanks.
This is like the first crack in this case.
Tracy needs to drop what she's doing and get on this car and find out exactly where it is and if it indeed is her murder car.
Let's roll.
You still looking for an Altima?
Yeah.
The Sean Mobley homicide investigation catches a break.
Any damage to the body?
Yes.
Tracy puts out a bolo on the suspect's vehicle and quickly gets a match.
Where is it?
In Hateville.
I don't want to set myself up for disappointment. When it turns out to be the vehicle, then I get excited.
Let's roll.
But I just try to stay even-keeled until we get there.
The city of Hateville is a city that's on the south side of the metropolitan area. It's by the airport, a very small city.
Investigator Calvin Thomas agrees to ride out there with me.
When Tracy gets on scene to where this mysterious car was, she finds out, wow, it's actually a Nissan Altima. It's got the right color, it's red, and it's got an R in the tag number.
This is a good start.
If it's the murder car, she may have evidence in it of shell casings, DNA, fingerprints, fibers, anything, receipts that could identify the occupants, the shooter, the driver, and the person in the back seat.
It was dusty. That vehicle hadn't moved in a while.
Just a couple scratches up here.
Doesn't add up.
It wasn't the damage that would have been consistent with what was being described on the scene.
It struck multiple parked cars in the getaway, so this isn't the vehicle.
We ran the vehicle and everything else. It wasn't stolen. There was no reports of anything, so it was a good lead, but, you know, unfortunately, it was a dead end.
Back to the office.
Tracy didn't give up trying to find the suspect's vehicle. She contacted the Georgia Bureau of Investigation because they have access beyond Atlanta.
They did a search for Nissan Altimas, red in color, with an R in the tag.
They came back with well over 100 vehicles. And while Tracy was going through the results, she got word that the video results from the club were in and they were ready for review.
It was time for her to see what these suspects actually look like.
The two witnesses that I interviewed on the scene, they were telling me it was 3 gentlemen that were together.
Tracy Lewis had to sit there at a computer and just go frame by frame by frame until you see either what you're trying to find or nothing at all. You got to look at everything.
Suddenly, Tracy zeroes in on a group of men.
There they are.
Based upon what the witnesses advised me, the shooter was the shorter, light-skinned male. He was also the person that was seen on the surveillance footage on the stage, fanning the money and dancing around.
Just in my experience working crimes, I like that because he's probably going to be in more videos. When you do more searches, that may just be his calling card.
Where's Sean? Where are the fireworks?
It doesn't show any altercation. They're just in the club having a good time. That was really all that the video showed. And it gave me an idea of what my suspects looked like.
Let's see what the outside footage picked up.
While the shooting happened outside of the camera's view, Tracy still finds the suspects.
The outside camera was a little bit better. I could see better facial shots.
Tracy has 3 faces. She just needs names.
Hey, Jordan. Yeah, I've got something for you.
So I took the surveillance footage and prepared that and sent that to our public affairs, and they released it to the media. We're just trying to get any kind of leads, or if somebody can give us a nickname, something to go off of, to try to find out who these gentlemen are.
All right, we'll get it on the news.
All right, thanks.
People are all over social media while watching the news, and they can do the legwork for you with their phones to help you identify people. So it's more than just a useful tool. Now it's a necessary tool. Use the media.
Police say last Saturday at 3 in the morning, there were 3 men inside this Buckhead bar called Hole in the Wall. And police gave us the surveillance video of them, along with this video of the suspect's car leaving the scene. And they say one of these men shot and killed Mobley in the bar parking lot.
A couple of days later, the media attention pays off.
I saw the story about that club murder.
I received a call from an anonymous caller, and that anonymous caller tells me that they recognize 2 of the 3 suspects in my case.
I know who they are.
That is the moment every homicide detective is waiting for. This may be exactly what she's looking for to break this case.
What are their names? There they are.
Detective Tracy Lewis investigates the homicide of victim Sean Mobley outside an Atlanta nightclub.
I saw the story about that club murder.
After releasing images of the suspects to the media, Tracy receives a call from someone who says they recognize the men involved.
I know who they are.
Every detective, they pine for this moment because your news media piece paid off.
What are their names?
I don't know.
I'm like, oh, okay, Because I've had so many other letdowns, and you got all kind of weirdos calling, just want to say something to the police.
I don't have time for this.
I saw 2 of them on a social media post from another club.
That anonymous caller tells me to go on to the club website, and I can find a picture of the 2 suspects.
Anonymous tipsters, in our experience, sometimes can be some of the most reliable witnesses you'll deal with in a criminal homicide investigation.
And I'm like, oh my God. And what do I see? I see my suspect, which is a shooter, the light-skinned short male that is on the video surveillance at the club of my incident.
It's the same guy from the surveillance video, holding a wad of money fanned out just like he did in the surveillance video. Identical photos, but from 2 different occurrences.
So I'm like, what? Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. You're legit.
This spanning of cash out in the clubs, that's his calling card. That's his stilo.
Hello.
The guy standing next to him in the photo resembles another suspect.
It was only 2 of the suspects that the anonymous caller gave me. He didn't know of who the 3rd person was.
I'll see if I can find out more information.
Call me back.
This is the time that I actually got excited, because this was actual giving me something I can work with.
The tipster contacted Tracy again and showed her an Instagram account. It belonged to the guy who Tracy thought was the shooter.
Tracy dug through social media and found 2 different names for this guy, Otto Santana and Gavin Burgess.
She ran both names through different databases and found a date of birth. And she finally got a hit for a Gavin Burgess with a Georgia driver's license and a picture.
It looks like Gavin Burgess was the shooter. The only way to know for sure is for Tracy to hook back up with the witnesses and show them a lineup.
I was actually in the office that day, and I said, yo, you got a good address for them? She says, yeah, but they're out in Dallas, Georgia. Like, what you waiting for, girl? Let's go. She laughed at me, jumped in the car, and we took that ride all the way north. So after about 40 minutes, we finally make it to the house out in Dallas, Georgia. This case is not my case, but I think I'm way more excited than Tracy because this is someone me and my partner, we watched her grow up in the department.
Hey, guys. This is Detective Quinn.
Gentlemen.
Now she's one of us, and the fact that she's nailed this evidence and brought this case to this overwhelming crescendo, I gotta be with her. Tracy's got the lineups in hand, and I'm her backup.
I need you to take a look at this separately.
Anytime you're showing a lineup, it's the most stressful point in any homicide detective's career.
I'm nervous as hell. I'm like a hooker in church. I don't know how to act right now. He's taking some time, but as soon as he's sure, you can see his head nod a little bit, and he went right to the person in question. He picks our shooter out right off the rip.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And when they finally lay that finger on the suspect that you know is the right person, it's like a ton of bricks just comes off your shoulders.
Yeah, that's him.
It's the best time. It's the best feeling I think you ever have as a homicide detective.
After wrapping up with these two, we track down the bouncer and show him the same lineup. He also picks out Burgess.
That felt great because now I have my shooter identified. That's the main focus, is who pulled the trigger. But now I gotta find out who my other two guys are because they're involved as well.
Back at the office, Tracy gets a warrant to officially charge the shooter, Gavin Burgess, with murder.
Detective Lewis? Hey.
I then get another call from my anonymous caller.
He tells Tracy the guy in the photo with Burgess is named Rodney, but doesn't know his last name.
It's his friend. That's all I know.
Tracy Lewis now gets the name Rodney, and she just presses rewind and did what she did before.
I go on to Gavin's Facebook page, and I go in his friends list and see if I can find a Rodney.
Sometimes all it takes is one little piece of info and just explodes into a crazy investigation. There's no Rodney in his friends list, so she searches friends of friends, and the name Rodney Hammond pops up.
Gotcha, Rodney.
It was Rodney Hammond, who was the gentleman in the club pictures.
It's like dropping that nickel in a slot machine and you get that ding, 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 ding. I mean, it's happening. You're making money, you're making headway in your investigation.
I need you to take a look at this separately.
The Sean Mobley murder investigation is heating up.
Yeah, that's him.
Detective Tracy Lewis believes she's identified the shooter as Gavin Burgess.
It's his friend. That's all I know.
Using her savvy social media skills, Tracy identifies suspect number 2 as Rodney Hammond.
Gotcha, Rodney. Gotcha.
Tracy has become a social media mixologist. She was an investigative DJ on this.
Hey, I need your help.
So I do another search, same thing I did with Gavin, and I sent his images off to the driver's license database.
I'm emailing you a potential match.
They came back with a possible Rodney Hammond.
Perfect. Got it. Thanks.
It was spot on. So now we're heading in the right direction.
Right now, Tracy's thinking that Rodney may be the guy that was sitting in the back seat, but she's got to throw him in a lineup and see what the witnesses tell her. Tracy showed the lineup to the security guard, who was the only one that saw the guy in the back seat, and he picked Rodney out right away.
She filed a warrant for Rodney Hammond's arrest, so it's 2 down and 1 to go. Tracy still needed to ID the driver, and a hot lead fell right into her lap.
The tip came from an ATF agent in Kansas City, Missouri. He was investigating a guy who was incarcerated out there, and he was monitoring his jail calls. The agent was listening to a call where the caller talked about a shooting outside a club in Atlanta. And the caller said they crashed their car while fleeing the scene.
The agent agreed to send Tracy the tape of the dirty call. Now she can figure out if the caller was actually the driver, the final suspect in her case.
I finally get the audio recordings and I hear everything that's being said on these jail calls.
The caller is named Barrett Green.
He's talking to the inmate and he is saying that they were leaving the club and he was driving the car and that his partner got into an argument with this guy outside the car and shot the guy. He says he had to hit numerous cars to leave the scene.
That's what's called an ambiguous confession. That's somebody confessing to the crime to somebody that they hold near and dear.
I got you.
What's crazy is a dirty jail phone call all the way out in Kansas City yields pertinent and validated information about a murder.
So not only is she getting the details, she's getting the recorded voice. They can't lie about it. She's got the proof that they made the call. She's got their voice on tape.
I need you to run a guy for me. Thanks.
She gets a phone number for Barrett Green. Everything in Tracy's case in chief has fallen into place. Because when you work hard on these kind of investigations, luck is going to be your cash payout. And that's what she got in this jail call.
Tracy immediately reaches out to him.
Hello?
This is Detective Tracy Lewis.
He was taken aback. I'm pretty sure if I probably could see through the phone, his eyes were probably this big around, like, and he just didn't know what to say. And I told him who I was, and I explained to him what I was investigating.
You need to turn yourself in.
All right. Give me a day.
He broke those interview appointments. He never showed up, and I took out warrants for him.
Tracy finds another reason to put Green in her crosshairs.
In researching all the information pertaining to Mr. Green, I do determine that he does own a Nissan Altima, that it is red. His tag also had an R in it. So that was absolutely wonderful.
She's got a tag number. So she does what any good homicide detective will do. She flags the car for wants and warrants.
On March 11th, 2019, Barrett Green is picked up during a traffic stop in Kentucky.
Mr. Green comes in with his attorney, and he does not want to make a statement, which is fine, and he is taken into custody.
Green isn't the only domino to fall. Within days, Tracy gets word that the fugitive unit has located Rodney Hammond.
He is taken into custody. They then bring him back to Atlanta Police Headquarters.
Take a look at this.
I Mirandize him first. He waives his right to an attorney, which I'm very shocked.
Rodney wants to talk.
Where do we start?
He's in the back seat.
He didn't do anything.
He's trying to get his moves in early so he didn't have to do life in prison in the state of Georgia.
Walk me through it.
The story Rodney's about to tell, though, it's way different than the stories that Tracy's already heard.
Dude was after our money.
You need to turn yourself in.
All right. Give me a day.
A month after Sean Mobley was killed at a Buckhead nightclub, a second suspect involved in his shooting has been arrested.
Where do we start?
Tracy sits down with Rodney Hammond, the person believed to be in the back seat of the vehicle when the murder occurred.
Walk me through it.
Tracy's still trying to figure out everything that happened, but Rodney, he's ready to talk.
Dude was after our money.
I want the truth.
I'm telling you.
Tracy Lewis does not play when she's got a guy in the box.
Basically, Rodney tells me that they're at the club. He said he noticed that while they were on the stage, Gavin has got the money out and he's dancing. He noticed that the victim started moving closer to them while they were on the stage dancing. In his mind, he's thinking that he might be about to rob him, so he told Gavin to put his money up.
So did the victim actually try to take Gavin's money?
No.
I would not want to be interrogated by Tracy Lewis. under no circumstances.
I think he is trying to give his friend an alibi, but he never said that the victim demanded any money, commanded anything.
What else happened in the club?
Nothing.
He said now they're leaving. They get into the car, and as they're backing out, Gavin starts to have words with the victim. Gavin is yelling out the passenger side, talking to him. They're just going back and forth. He says that Mr. Mobley, who's the victim, lifts up his shirt and exposes a weapon.
I mean, they was going at it and he flashed a gun.
You pull it out?
Nah.
He said he just lifts it up, exposes it, and puts it back down, and they continue to argue. He says the next thing he knows, there's a tussle in the driver's seat, and then he says Gavin shoots. And Gavin turns the gun and starts shooting out the front windshield. He said when the gunfire starts, he gets down. So he doesn't really see what's happening.
Why did Gavin start shooting?
I mean, that dude had a gun.
Rodney may be telling the truth, but police never found a weapon on Sean.
You want to add anything else?
Nah.
Mr. Hammond never gave me anything to say exactly why Mr. Burgess pulled the trigger. Because he wasn't assaulted.
So what's great about Rodney's interview, Rodney identifies Gavin as the shooter sitting in the front seat, and that lines up with what everybody said. There's no different version of what happened. Some of it was self-serving, but most of it was factual. It was what really happened inside that car.
I didn't really do anything wrong.
You didn't come forward.
He even admitted to saying that he saw himself on television, but he was waiting for Mr. Green and Mr. Burgess to come forward before he said anything, because he was going to be a witness for them.
Let's get out of here.
Mr. Hammond was arrested on party to a crime of murder, and he was transported to Fulton County Jail as well.
On April 10th, 2019, Gavin Burgess turns himself in on murder warrants. He refuses to give a statement and is taken to jail. The case doesn't go to trial.
Gavin Burgess pleads guilty to voluntary manslaughter and receives a sentence of 20 years.
The murder charge against Barrett Green, the driver, is later dropped. He's charged with hit and run, tampering with evidence, and hindering the apprehension of a felon. He receives probation.
All charges against Rodney Hammond, the person sitting in the back seat of the car, are dropped after the judge realizes there was no evidence to suggest he aided or abetted anyone in the murder of this victim. This case was crazy, and you did it. You solved the case, and now you gotta tell the family. What was their reaction?
She's happy, but at the same time, nothing replaces your kid. I wasn't able to bring her son back. I don't even think that we still understand why this happened to her son, because it didn't have to happen. This was truly senseless and unnecessary.
As a detective, we're trying to figure out motive. This is really just beef. It happens all the time.
Facts. You can just be going about your life and get snuffed out because guns are out here. Nobody's punching in the parking lot anymore. Like back in my day and my partner's day. You never know. One argument can just light the fuse and get somebody killed. Looking back on this case, we watched one of our young proteges come up through the ranks.
Did you see the shooter?
Yeah.
And become an awesome homicide detective, criminal investigator extraordinaire.
Serving as the epicenter of Black Hollywood, the city that is known for its unique Southern charm, distinct swag, and obsessive street savvy, also holds a dark side.
June 27th, 2022. The unthinkable was about to unfold at the opulent mansion of international music icon Mariah Carey.
Not even security could stop this from happening.
Beyond the city's facade of the glitz and the glam lay the daunting obsession of wanting a taste of the good life, even if that meant taking it in the worst possible way.
The drug-rich gang is not your average gang. They were very smart and very savvy when it came down to understanding security systems and how to breach those security systems.
I remember days I would leave my garage up. I can sleep with my doors unlocked. You always felt safe. No one was gonna rob you. Those days are gone now.
This crew was determined to get into the house. Nothing was stopping them.
Mariah Carey is completely oblivious to what's about to happen to her. While she's thinking that she's living safely, what's actually happening is that a criminal organization is plotting on her every move.
One of the key things that every celebrity has to know is that they're always a target.
Atlanta, a pulsating hub where Black entrepreneurship, artistry, and activism thrive in a whirlwind of creativity and hustle.
Atlanta has been known for years to be one of the top cities for aspiring African Americans to start businesses and just be successful.
Atlanta is urban. It's young. It's still growing. There's space. There's a lot of reasons why Atlanta represents the chance to have a new life, a better life.
The city is a tapestry of diverse neighborhoods and people. From Midtown's thriving art scene, Grant Park's historic zoo, to Buckhead's upscale living. Atlanta has become the hot spot for all things fun, fly, and affordable.
It's fashion, it's who's who, it's fun. It's just seeing so many great Black people do amazing things. It's kind of like make-believe.
It's no wonder that one of the queens of music chose a palatial palace in Atlanta for her new home.
There were a number of reasons Mariah wanted to move to Atlanta, both personally and professionally.
Like a lot of people, Mariah Carey looked to Atlanta as a place to start a new beginning. Mariah would not only be at the top of the music charts, she would become one of the most recognized and beloved celebrities in the world. After decades of dealing with a tough music industry and a sometimes even tougher public, Mariah Carey was exhausted. She was looking for an escape from the public eye.
With the news of new music on the horizon and her longtime producer and friend, Jermaine Dupri, in Atlanta, it just made sense.
Although dream real estate prices and promises of privacy fared to be true, beyond the bright lights of opportunity in the capital city of Georgia hosts several neighboring counties playing by their own set of rules.
So there's 4 primary counties in Atlanta. It's DeKalb, Cobb, Gwinnett, and Fulton County.
The North Atlanta area that Mariah moves to is a place where there are lots of celebrities. And if you're not a celebrity, you have a lot of money. So there's space, there are huge houses, there is privacy, people aren't in your business. It really represents the height of safety in the South.
My neighbors know everyone. I live in a gated community, so it's safe.
And although Mariah and her fellow neighbors felt safe behind the gates of their community, in another area behind closed doors, the drug-rich gang was busy collecting intel on ways to uproot that safety.
Drug Rich was really smart from the standpoint that they used social media to be able to track celebrities, influencers, professional athletes.
Whether you're coming in for a weekend of fun or whether you're moving there, they know based on social media, based on public conversation, who is who and where they go.
It gave them exactly the targets to go after.
Since the 1990s, Atlanta has increasingly become a celebrity-driven city. Either you're famous or you want to be famous. And the best way to show that you're famous is to flaunt every piece of jewelry, every car, every house that you own.
I post everything on social media. It's a part of my job and it's a part of my life. But never did I think that what I posted would be used against me.
And if certain dangers of posting personal information on social media weren't bad before in Atlanta, especially after the pandemic, the obsessiveness to post everything online got increasingly worse.
You share when you get a new car. You share when you get a new business. I post when I was home, pretending to be somewhere.
The challenge of being a celebrity and avoiding a crime like this happening to you is that to be a celebrity, you kind of have to open up your world. You have to expose your business. You have to tell people more information than you probably otherwise would want them to know.
Social media was all a buzz. Everyone knew who was to blame.
Yet with social media being the outlet of choice in 2022, could it be that celebrities were feeling the pressures to expose their lives and themselves to the world?
As someone who came to fame long before social media, Mariah Carey understood what it means to be in the public spotlight. But after the emergence of social media, the world got to witness her opulent lifestyle.
Mariah Carey is taking a vacation, and she has her family with her, and she's posting that on Instagram. And people with Drug Rich apparently saw that and understood that the house would be empty. So now they know that it's a safe target to attack.
The Drug Rich gang was about to expose Mariah's personal business and belongings in a very public way. And on June 27, 2022, 3 men entered Mariah Carey's $5.65 million home.
They were able to cut off the security system. They were even able to disable many of the cameras in the house.
Who just breaks into someone's house like that? Like, this is wow.
This crime could only be carried out by a group with extraordinary precision and remarkable audacity, the Drug Rich gang.
Summer 2022, award-winning singer-songwriter Mariah Carey is on vacation while her 9-bedroom, 13-bathroom sprawling home in Georgia is at the center of an elaborate heist.
Mariah Carey has no idea that she's being plotted on by the Drug Rich gang. And unfortunately, like most people, she doesn't find out until it's too late.
The Drug Rich gang was primarily known for going after very high-valued items, whether it was jewelry or purses or even money, anything that was extremely valuable.
They were dangerous, and that emerged in the wake of a massive state and federal investigation that resulted in the bust of a gangster Disciples set in 2015.
Could the birth of a gang established in 2015 be the same spawns responsible for the 2022 string of home invasions among celebrities in Atlanta? And with Mariah Carey, the latest target of the drug-rich gang, fans, the community, authorities, and Fulton County's newest DA, Fani Willis, were desperate for answers.
Everything has a lot to do, believe it or not, with politics. If there are specific prosecutors that are attempting to make a name in regards to that specific crime, that it will not be tolerated in that county, if they have to use someone or a gang or an organization as an example, they will. It has a lot to do with that.
And while the fierce and fabulous District Attorney Fani Willis was using her office to make Atlanta safe, the drug-rich gang was riding the wave of criminal corruption from the past.
Fresh off a series of violent and brazen acts, the group set its sights on Mariah Carey, looking at her home as a place where they might find jewelry, clothing, and precious family heirlooms.
They took their time. You know, it wasn't just rush, rush, rush.
But why 7 years after the original bust of OG Disciples? And why was Mariah Carey's home the newest target?
The 3 men that entered the home were part of a bigger 24-person criminal organization. Mariah Carey had multiple homes. She had just sold her home in Las Vegas, but she still had a home in Los Angeles, she had a home in New York, and she had the place in Atlanta. That's where she wanted to spend the primary bulk of her time, and that's where she thought she was the safest.
And yet, on that night in June of 2022, Mariah nor her mansion in Atlanta was safe. In fact, the drug-rich gang showed no hesitation in using social media to track any celebrities' movements in order to break into their homes while they were away and rob them of their most valuable possessions.
One of the key things that every celebrity or a high net worth earning individual has to know is that they're always a target. And one of the worst things that you can do is posting everything on social media.
Her most precious family heirlooms, her most valuable possessions, they were in Atlanta. Shoes, jewelry, even awards. This is not a group of local burglars. This is a professional criminal organization that knows exactly how to target a successful and highly protected person.
According to local authorities, the burglary at Miss Carey's house went almost completely undetected on the night in question. Once inside, the 3 masked men were able to move quickly to grab as much as they could while moving as fast as they possibly can.
Drug Rich Gang was primarily known for being, we call in the industry as being seamless, in and out.
But the otherwise seamless disposition of the drug-rich gang on the night of June 27th hit an unusual snare, and what happens next shocked even them.
They navigate through the home, extracting their loot with cold-blooded efficiency. As the group carefully carries out their plot, something happens. The sound triggered an alarm that they had not managed to disable.
Images from surrounding and neighboring surveillance cameras uncovered a startling revelation. One of the three invaders was careless and likely missed one of the security devices.
Sandy Springs Police Department was looking at the cameras, so I guess they were trying to see if they left any evidence behind.
Once that sound was made and that alarm triggered, they knew they had to leave immediately. Although the gang's plans were interrupted, they still got what they came for: jewelry, clothing, and many of Mariah's precious heirlooms.
Like, it is one thing when somebody like you and I are being robbed, and it is entirely a different thing when it's Mariah Carey.
The culprits vanish into the night as quickly as they came, speaking volumes of the audacity and precision of the drug-rich gang.
Yet, given the upscale neighborhood and Miss Carey being the owner of the residence, just as quickly as the gang escaped, Sandy Springs authorities arrived.
As they're quickly escaping the house, law enforcement is actually arriving.
On the scene, law enforcement notices broken glass, dismantled security equipment, and other tangible evidence that sparks concern.
Not only have these suspects been hitting homes for the past year, we learned this spans across the metro. Today, Sandy Springs Police Department confirmed to us that they're working with Atlanta PD on cases, calling these criminals bold and brazen.
As police begin their investigation of Mariah Carey's home robbery, investigators notice a familiar crime pattern.
In addition to the pattern of using social media, investigators connected both the dismantling of high-tech security cameras and celebrities living in Sandy Springs as factors to the string of break-ins.
These were no amateurs. Like, clearly, this gang had done this before.
They noticed that the perpetrators had managed to use a sophisticated system to dismantle the burglar alarm. For them, that was a red flag. Diligent investigators are poring over surveillance footage. They're examining the digital footprints of many perpetrators.
Drug-rich gang was on some Ocean's 11 type stuff.
For police, the key to cracking this case lies in their ability to figure out how they use social media to find, follow, and ultimately rob prominent celebrities.
As the police lean into how the drug-rich gang uses social media to pick their prey, they also discover a crucial clue that could unlock the entire case.
As with most crimes, criminals are bound to make mistakes, and drug-rich gang was proven to be no different.
A key piece of evidence was located in a surveillance video where you could see identifying tattoos on the arms of one of the perpetrators.
So what really became prominent is the tattooing on faces and the body and merchandise, and that's how they were really able to brand themselves around Georgia.
With investigators hot on the trail of connecting the links between the drug-rich gang and celebrity social media, a unique tattoo brings them even closer to finding out the who behind the infamous string of Atlanta's home invasion spree.
When homicide detectives arrived
on June 27th of 2022, officers respond to the home invasion of multi-award-winning singing superstar Mariah Carey in the posh Atlanta neighborhood of Sandy Springs. As the investigation ramps up and law enforcement sifts through the mounting evidence against a local gang, detectives are able to catch a break in their case by identifying a tattoo from one of the culprits.
So in 2016, B4B gang that originated in DeKalb County later changed their name to Drug Rich Gang. DeMonte Stevie, who is the founder of the Drug Rich Gang, later changed his street name to RX Hecht.
Drug-rich gang wasn't new. They were an established gang that started as one thing, then morphed into something bigger.
With surveillance footage revealing the letters RX tattooed on the arm of one of the three masked men, investigators receive a key break in the case. However, with the drug-rich gang being so strong in numbers, investigators knew that locating the owner of the tattoo on the video was going to be challenging.
Detectives believe a gang is responsible for 15 Sandy Springs celebrity break-ins so far in a year-long investigation. The most recent target, superstar Mariah Carey.
And in a city of dualities where the glitz and glamour of being a celebrity collide with the harsh realities of poverty and greed of those from the streets, what happens next tells an even darker story.
The area of Atlanta that we're talking about is in DeKalb County, just east of Atlanta. It's mostly black and very poor, specific to where the drug-rich gang was operating and where it formed.
Because there was a vacuum period, this allowed the rise of the drug-rich gang in Atlanta.
The idea was you'll arrest them and we'll be able to manage the problems that emerge. And that really didn't happen. Instead of violence decreasing, as it had been everywhere else pretty much in Atlanta, it rose. Homicide rate nearly doubled. And drug-rich is what the survivors ended up becoming.
For many of the members of the drug-rich gang, survival wasn't the only option. In addition to selling drugs, some turned their street realities into musical aspirations.
DeMonte Steely, like a lot of artists, used social media and entertainment to establish themselves, not only in the gang world, but in the hip-hop world.
Everyone wants to be a rapper in Atlanta, and they want their art to imitate life.
There is an effort being made by the music industry to use the legitimacy, the authenticity, the realness of a street gang as a marketing tool to sell rap.
But was Del Monte Steely the man with the RX tattoo seen on the surveillance video at Mariah Carey's house? And was the heist motivation for his music?
The rappers always rap about what drugs they're using, what they're doing, who they're killing, how they're killing, and I mean, that's the day that we're in now.
As police looked into pairing the RX tattoo to one individual, the DA's office gave the strict mandate of cleaning up the streets of Atlanta by not only making arrests, but making arrests that would stick. While looking into Del Monte Steely as a possible suspect, detectives realized that the mysterious tattoo didn't in fact belong to him, and that he was already behind bars.
In 2018, DeMonte Steely got arrested for a really insignificant crime, but that arrest gave an opportunity for new leadership to rise up in Atlanta in the form of Jeremy Caldwell.
With time being of the essence, law enforcement knew that when it came to the drug-rich gang, the philosophy of they don't die, they multiply, definitely applied.
The ringleader of the drug-rich gang is a man named Jeremy Caldwell, a man born in Atlanta and known in the streets as J-Rock.
Under the leadership of Jeremy Caldwell, the crimes became much more aggressive and widespread.
Once given his name, it doesn't take long for police to do a deep dive into the life, criminal record, and whereabouts of Jeremy Caldwell, aka J-Rock, on the night of June 27th. Not only can they connect the RX tattoo on the surveillance video to J-Rock, police are also able to link other members of the drug-rich gang to the home invasion of Mariah Carey as well.
J-Rock entered the home with two of his criminal associates, Terrion Anderson Bobo and Kenzel Walker.
They became known for almost being Robin Hoods, taking or stealing from the rich.
Thing is, DRG wasn't like Robin Hood. This was never about giving to the poor. This was about giving to themselves.
Exploitation was an art form to the drug-rich gang. From social media to digital tech, surveillance cameras to smartphones, they turned everyday tools into sinister weapons of choice for their crimes.
Access granted.
The drug-rich gang pays careful attention to everybody who comes in and leaves Atlanta.
When you are following social media, all of that information allows the drug-rich gang to target people that were not at home.
Yet the savvy social media skills displayed by the drug-rich gang didn't fit the MO of the gang's new leader, Jeremy Caldwell, leading detectives to believe that maybe J-Rock had some help.
The group was tipped off to Mariah Carey's house by Azani Scott, the girlfriend of J-Rock. Her role in the gang was to find new targets by scanning social media, looking for celebrities who had entered the area and people who had shown their jewelry and their houses on the internet.
So his girlfriend was the one leading the charge on all things social media. So while Azani was watching Mariah, law enforcement was watching her.
Atlanta has one of the most sophisticated and extensive camera networks on the streets of any city in the world. And the police are very good at tracking a car from one place to another. They appear to have been aware enough of this to steal cars and dump them in the process of doing the crimes.
As the police continue their investigation, they unearth intriguing details, edging them closer to the truth.
This wasn't gonna be an easy victory. There wasn't just one person, there were nearly like 30 plus culprits.
As law enforcement sifts through photos of several potential suspects, the drug-rich gang was busy plotting their next big heist. And considering the home invasion at Mariah's house was abruptly interrupted and cut short, the perpetrators knew this next hit had to be big. With Mariah's house under their belts, the drug-rich gang set their sights on another Atlanta socialite, a supreme peach holder and reality star.
The group had targeted Marlo Hampton, one of the stars of the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise.
With the police applying pressure to the movements of the drug-rich gang, the crew got sloppy, even sloppier than before.
If you're trying to do a home invasion and somebody's actually home, you probably screwed up.
The drug-rich gang wasted no time. Next on their hit list, Marlo Hampton, a star of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, an iconic influencer, Atlanta fashionista, and reality TV star. Marlo Hampton relaxed in her home unsuspecting of her involuntary role in the drug-rich gang's master plan.
July 1st, 2022, I was packing up from a hotel in Houston after celebrating my nephew's birthday for the weekend. The boys and I go downstairs and we have lunch before we leave out, and we're just out hanging out. I'm having a couple of drinks and just enjoying the amazing hotel, the pool, the scenery. So, loading up the luggage, we're headed to the airport. When I arrived home, I saw a card on my door. I'm like, who left a card on the door? And it's from a detective at Sandy Springs Police Department. But it's nighttime, and I don't know, maybe they have a case and they want to ask a question, so I'll give them a call tomorrow. That's what my thoughts were. Not knowing it was to warn me that I could possibly be a victim of a break-in, a robbery.
As the crew of outlaws continued their reign of terror, their trademark became the art of untraceable crimes, slipping past their targets and authorities alike. However, on July 1st, 2022, they made a catastrophic misstep.
Drug-rich gang was known for being seamless, but there were some instances where they didn't know that the actual homeowners were home, and that led to violence. Everything from assault to shootings and actual injury and the end of life for certain homeowners.
And although police had left a card with hopes to warn Miss Hampton of the potential imminent danger, no one anticipated what was about to happen next.
So we get in the house, my one nephew had been coughing, and I'm like, Michael, you may have COVID. So William, I don't want you to sleep in the room with him this evening. Sleep downstairs, sleep on another floor. I'm out of it. Only to hear a loud scream. I grabbed the phone and I turned straight to my cameras. I see 4 armed men with guns and masks on.
Terrified by what cameras were revealing, Marlo's first thought was if what she was seeing was real, and how did her security system become breached?
That was the worst feeling or time in my life.
As Marlo watches 4 men actively invade her home, she realizes her and her nephew's lives are now in immediate danger and screams out to them to come upstairs to her room.
I just go into mama mode, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys are in my house with guns. It was an awful moment. It was fear, like, am I getting ready to die? Are they going to kill me and my nephews? The boys were coming. We went into my room and we locked ourselves up in my closet.
As Marlo and her nephews fled to the somewhat safety of her closet, members from the drug-rich gang realize they may not be in the home alone.
I remember I said one thing, if you bring your ass up these stairs, your mom's gonna bury you tomorrow. And it all happened so fast. I was on the phone with 911. I was like, help, we need help. There are armed men here with guns.
Realizing that they were not alone, drug-rich gang once again quickly grabs whatever valuables they can and expeditiously flees the scene. And with Marlo's brave call to 911, law enforcement is dispatched immediately to the Real Housewives' home for help.
I was scared. I don't even know what the heck I was thinking.
In lightning speed, police arrive at Marlo Hampton's house, only to discover the absence of the drug-rich gang, and yet the presence of chaos and fear.
I was just so shocked, like, wow, this really happened. Like, someone just came and violated us.
Although Marlo and her nephews managed to escape the immediate dangers of the drug-rich gang, investigators across several counties and jurisdictions wrestled with their investigation in an effort to keep up or even catch the crew.
One of the advantages that the drug-rich gang had is that law enforcement, they're not corresponding or sharing information. Something had broken.
Something was not working. There was this general, oh my goodness, what just happened? One thing leads to another. The folks at Gwinnett County are starting to talk with the folks at Fulton County in ways they didn't before. Their investigators start talking to each other. DeKalb County gets involved. Cobb County gets involved. And they all say, oh goodness, it's all the same guys.
With agencies finally working together, investigators started making real headway in order to close in on the drug-rich gang. Once united, police realized that in addition to Mariah and Marlo's homes, there had been a string of connection to a plethora of other celebrities.
If you're a police investigator and you're looking at gang activity, most of it is just some person sitting in front of a fake account, just following what everybody is saying.
For law enforcement, we pay attention to social media. All of those things are very important to us because a lot of crimes are initiated from the popularity of social media and music.
And with a mounting of evidence stacking against Jeremy Caldwell and his crew, police received another crucial tip. 2 other celebrities within the same area had been hit. Intel confirmed social media influencer and former flame of rapper Future, Brittany Mealy's home, had also been targeted. But this time, authorities were one step ahead.
It only increases our desire to want to catch the criminals faster.
This gang never thought that they would get caught. They terrorized the homes and streets of Atlanta for years. Robbing, shooting, possession of illegal weapons, terroristic threats, and even kidnapping.
Once you mess with enough rich people, it becomes a political problem. And that's what happened here.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis shared those sentiments, stating that when she took office, several critics didn't want to acknowledge the gang problem deeply rooted in the fabric of Atlanta, but that she not only knew about it, she was determined to do something about it.
We are going to find you, we are going to convict you, and we're going to send you to the prison for the rest of your days.
With a determined DA applying pressure for a crackdown of crime in the city of Atlanta, police knew the need for an arrest was imminent. And yet, on the heels of a handful of relatively clean getaways and semi-successful home invasions, the drug-rich gang was oblivious to the fact that flaunting the spoils and riches of their robberies via social media probably wasn't the smartest idea.
Why would it make sense to you to go on Instagram and tell people, like, that you had just committed a crime with evidence in the image? It's absurd. The irony is that they'd turn around and then do a music video where they would talk about their methodology, where they would talk about kicking in a back door. You know, they'd talk about, doing a home invasion.
When you think about it, the drug-rich gang kind of made it easy for law enforcement.
In the music video, you see a bunch of young men, black, wearing black, a lot of shiesty hoods, guns everywhere. And they're on the back of an apartment complex, ostensibly in central DeKalb.
As the public gets wind of the connection between the home invasions of their favorite celebrities and the drug-rich gang that's committed the crime, law enforcement begins making their arrest.
Jeremy Caldwell, the leader of the drug-rich gang, was arrested.
Arrests are starting to mount. As police catch one suspect, they use the information gathered to get more suspects, collecting forensic evidence like telephones, computers, and other valuable information. The gang is beginning to fall like dominoes.
The number one piece of evidence is the body.
You could tell that this was not... July 1st, 2022, reality star Marlo Hampton came face to face with the drug-rich gang who had been following the reality TV star on social media in an effort to rob her home while she was away. But Marlo was home on the night of the invasion, sending the drug-rich gang into a frenzy and police on a social media scavenger hunt to find them. Thanks to tips from online users and the community at large, law enforcement began zeroing in on key members of the drug-rich gang by way of social media and their own incriminating behavior.
It's the stupidest thing to rap about what they do, especially if you're doing something illegal. It's just like doing something illegal and posting on social media. The detectives don't have to have that much work because you show everything.
The drug-rich gang kind of made it easy for law enforcement.
The police eventually locate gang leader Jeremy J-Rock Caldwell. He's in Miami, Florida, and they were able to catch him because of his social media posts.
In Fulton County, there was a 94-page indictment with 220 counts.
They had the drug-rich gang on crimes like attempted murder, burglary, assault, home invasion, just to name a few. And Fonnie Willis driving the ship, to anyone who was watching, we all knew DRG was going down.
The RICO indictment, a whopping 94 pages long, unveiled a web of crimes as shocking as they were heinous. Their trail of destruction was undeniable, and with 25 arrests and 26 indicted, the full extent of their crimes was exposed for all to see.
The drug-rich gang was being charged under the RICO Act. Details of the indictment reveal that many members of the community, even those who had not been robbed, were still targeted by the gang. The 26 members of the gang faced a collective 220-count indictment.
A RICO charge isn't what you think. It's not just reserved for the mafia. It's anything proven to be organized crime.
It was created as a federal law in the 1970s as a way of holding the leaders of criminal organizations accountable for the actions of their underlings. Organizations like gangs or the mafia, oftentimes it was hard to get the boss of the organization because most of the crimes, the murders, the robberies, were conducted by the low-level functionaries. And the low-level functionaries weren't going to tell on the bosses. And that's exactly what was happening with Jeremy Caldwell.
In racketeering cases, it also allows additional evidence that would otherwise be inadmissible to be presented at trial. And so this person with an RX tattoo on their face, advertising the gang, you can connect that gang tattoo to a person who committed an actual crime, then it all becomes part of acts in furtherance of a gang.
Investigators, the DA, everyone, even associated with the case, used everything that they could against them.
The decision to try the drug-rich gang under the RICO Act is being pushed by the prosecutor's office, which is being run by Fonnie Willis, who is committed to establishing a precedent for future cases. She wants to reduce the crime rate, and she wants to send a message that organized crimes include street gangs, and it won't be tolerated.
As the case goes to trial, the grim reality begins to set in for many of the drug-rich members. With the evidence from the surveillance videos from the houses of Mariah Carey, Marlo Hampton, Brittany Mealy, and NFL star Calvin Ridley, DRG members including Anais Scott, Jeremy Caldwell, and more faced the weight of their crimes and started copping to a plea.
Now, word on the street was, drug-rich gang and its members desperately needed to cop a plea. Thing was, with it being so many of them arrested, would they be able to?
If it's a circumstantial case, you stand a much better chance in offering someone a plea deal because you know at least they're going to do some type of time or pay some form of restitution in regards to that crime. So a lot of times it's much better to take your chance with a plea deal than with a jury.
Prosecutors felt confident about their case, making them more than ready to stand trial and demand that justice be served against the drug-rich gang.
DA Fonnie Willis used this case to set the precedent for other cases, including using lyrics to songs, raps, social media, and lifestyles as evidence against them. DRG didn't know what was about to hit them.
Well, it's always sad when anybody is prosecuted, especially from the standpoint, because a lot of these individuals were young. But what it does do is that it reinforces safety in the minds of not only the residents and the people of Atlanta, but for any potential new people that want to relocate to Atlanta.
The legal battle wouldn't just be about guilt or innocence. It would be a struggle over legal ethics, police investigation tactics, and the boundaries of free speech and online privacy.
Although the defense put up a hell of a fight, prosecutors built a very strong case.
The defense fought hard to separate the charges filed against them, some of which included murder, aggravated assault, and armed robbery charges, to no avail. Additionally, the defense argued against any materials produced by the drug-rich gang's social media as inadmissible evidence that could be used against them, but that motion was also denied. With so many members of the drug-rich gang accepting pleas, many wondered what kind of conviction could Jeremy J. Rock Caldwell be looking at. The trial had a huge impact on the legal landscape, while questions around digital exploitation, judicial outreach, and the right to privacy and free speech. With a superstar diva and renowned reality star both healing from the trauma and hurt of two very dangerous home invasions, 26 members of the drug-rich gang were making history in the headlines while in handcuffs. After a series of arrests brought down on the Atlanta-based social media gang, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis was confident of a guilty conviction.
Being able to prosecute the drug-rich gang really put out into the community that that type of violence and crime will not be tolerated in Atlanta.
When the verdict came out, it was met with mixed reactions. While the gang members were consistently convicted of charges ranging from burglary to RICO, their sentences ranged widely. Jeremy Caldwell is facing 82 counts, but the state is still trying to try him under RICO so that he can be held accountable for all the other counts. When a jury sees his high level of power in the organization, they know that he's not just a criminal, but he's a criminal mastermind.
In the fall of 2022, mere months after the homes of Mariah Carey and Marlo Hampton were invaded upon, all 26 members of the drug-rich gang were indicted and convicted of felony charges. Although the sentencing varied amongst the drug-rich gang members, the residue of their crimes left permanent scars on all of the lives their gang affected.
The nightmares, the dreams, I had to go get a therapist for it. You don't trust, and it's a way that's so unhealthy to live because someone goes and violates you, and it's not freaking fair at all. It's not right.
Word got out that this incident really took its toll on both the housewife, Marlo Hampton, and award-winning singer, Miss Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey's life was completely disrupted after the robbery. This was her sanctuary, her one safe space, and it was completely violated. It would never be the same again.
When they violated her home and took her stuff, it was a wrap.
According to reports, that same year, Miss Carey put her home up for sale.
The tone of the city shifted for sure. People became extremely more conscious of what they did online and in person.
We have to be very careful about what we put on social media, not just in terms of telling too much of our business, not just in terms of exposing too much of our wealth, but subtly